Hey friends, my name is Allison Steele, and you're listening to Unravel with Allison. Unravel with Allison is a show where I take a concept that's got me in knots, and we unravel it together. Thanks for being here. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Unravel with Allison. Today we are going to talk about pressure. When I first hear pressure, I separate it into two words, press sure. And I think of the meme where the guy is sweating and panicked, and there's two red buttons with both buttons are just kind of contradictory and not a good option. And that's what pressure feels like, is when you're under pressure and you have to make a choice and none of your choices feel great. But when we separate press and sure, let's start with sure. The definition of sure is having no doubt that one is right, confident in what one thinks or knows, or used for certainty or emphasis, like a sure thing. Now, for me personally, I only use that in synchronistic agreement when somebody is telling a story about how they're hitting every green light. And then the next part of their story is how they find the perfect parking spot. I'm like, yeah, sure. Of course, that's how that story goes, because I have this magical lens on where I'm like, the song from Legally Blonde, Perfect Day, is playing in my head. That checks out. That's how that story goes. It feels good and it feels right and it feels like a sure thing. And to me, it kind of simplifies the story, but it also serves as a reminder that stuff like this can be common when we consistently allow its casual existence. I also use sure for consideration, like when I was younger and young enough to live with my parents, but old enough to make choices. And my mom would ask me if I want to go to the grocery store. And that is not on my agenda, but at the same time, you stop and think about it and you're like, yeah, sure. That sounds like a great idea. But that part where it's not on the agenda, that's where it gets fun. That's where sure becomes an adventure. My best adventures have been just saying sure when I have no actual certainty of the outcome. So it's not sure. I'm not sure of anything, but I'm along for the ride. I almost answer. It's are you in? Sure. It's a question, but let's do it and see what it looks like. And there is no real security. There's no outcome, no expectation, but following a fascination or a curiosity or excitement. Personally, I'm not sure of anything objectively. Relying on sure things or done deals isn't very realistic. And it makes me think of when I was younger and, my mom was working several jobs, and on more than one occasion, we'd go visit my dad for the weekend and then come back home. And my home was an entirely new home because, with us being away, my mom had a small window of time and resources to get a move accomplished. And, she downsized a bunch of our stuff while she did it. It was something that she needed to do as a parent that made sense with how busy our lives were. But from the kid's perspective, that's an uproot. You're supposed to be sure of what and where home is. I got comfortable with that. Just okay, this is home now. And it didn't come easy at first, but it's when COVID hit us. Every single person, it's you didn't say sure. You didn't opt into this, but the situation has developed beyond your control and beyond your power, and for a while you have to exist within it. So when your truth is no longer your truth, and you want to press sure, but none of the buttons are ideal, and it's time to act, that's pressure. In episode 19, I talked about twin flames. One of the highlights of that episode is my friend Sebastian Seagull. Our initial conversation was professional, but it gave me a direction and answered deeper questions that I had been asking myself. We now have a friendship that is very loving and encouraging and amusing and supportive, and he is my cosmic brother. We first met in person at ICB. That is the International College of Broadcasting. It is the school that we attend, and because we go here together, we've been able to work together and grow together since our time here started. We've had our best conversations in these rooms, and we just left a meeting in the same room that we met in. We're unsure of our next moves, but we are sure of ourselves. My friend Sebastian Seagull is with us today to talk about pressure. Welcome and thank you for being here.
Well, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure. Seems to be something in long making, I guess to talk about the elephant in the room.
Before we get into pressure, clear the air. So we just left this meeting, the student town hall meeting. So what just happened?
Well, for those who go here and who didn't attend, I'm sorry if you're hearing this for the first time from me. But the International College of Broadcast, an institution since 1968, is closing its doors. And that it's a shock. It's a blow to the gut. It's a lot of things. And like you said, I don't really know what's next, but I think that's kind of the beauty of life. We get to experience these things, and sometimes they're not great. Yeah. But this year has been kind of like that for me. Just the uncertainty of things and how that kind of affects us and how we move through it and how we react to that news. And it's kind of crazy that, over 50 years, this place has been here. It's seen a lot of great people through here, a lot of great teachers, a lot of good staff, a lot of great students. I mean, it's funny you said that. I didn't even think about that, but that is the room we met.
Yep.
It's where I literally found confidence in myself through my great mentor, teacher, Tyrone Williams. Dude's like a father to me, and it's great to be able to be here. And I've said this to you already today, but if I had the knowledge of everything that was going to happen this year and in my time here, and I woke up on my first day of school, I'd do it again.
Yeah.
No regret.
Mm-hmm. I'd get here early. I'd spend more time here.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But in life, that's sometimes how lessons are learned. That's your moments of weakness, your moments of chaos. And yeah, I like what you said about pressure. It's that last word, it's two words put together. It's a 2-syllable word and it has so much heaviness to it. Sure is the last part, and pre-sure.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Isn't that kind of weird thing too? Like when you say pretty sure, you're calling sure pretty.
Mm-hmm.
It's an adjective, to it. And it's like, what do you mean by that? Like, is pretty sure, pressure.
Precious.
I mean, on that, what happens when you apply pressure to a piece of coal? Turns into a gem.
Gem City, baby.
Gem City. So that's the news.
That's the news.
That's the heaviness, the scoop.
Yeah.
The school is closing and
we're not done yet.
No, we're just started.
That's another part of it is like we've been in school here for a year and a half. We have one semester left, and there are different options of things that we can do, and we won't get into all that today, but we talked a little bit earlier about pride a little bit because this was, in writing my story of what I tell myself, this is my redemption story. This is where Allison comes back and, something else happens, but this part was supposed to be completed first. This was going to be part of the story that I went and did it and finished it and put my all into it in all the ways that mattered to me this time. And that's what's cool about going here too, is that I've never been taught by people who care as much as these people do about what they're teaching and who they're teaching. Mm-hmm. And I've just never been so seen or heard in a classroom or have been welcome to show up in a classroom. And I think having them and you and just everybody in here support and build that confidence to my audience knows that I cried the first time that I sat down in front of a microphone to hear my voice for the first time. And I hated everything about who I was when I got here. And I love everything about who I am leaving. And And my situation, whatever else is going on in life, is still confusing, and but it's a better lens coming out than it was leading in.
I can agree with that. I remember my first kind of like deep talk with Tyrone. We were talking about my art and stuff. And I told him, I wasn't comfortable putting it out there, like selling it or whatever have you. And he said, why not? You're good. Mm-hmm. I think that's the first time I've ever had someone see my stuff and say, no, man, you got it.
Yeah.
Why don't you start believing? And honestly, probably until last month, I didn't believe. For like a long time, I haven't believed. I mean, 10 years ago, I was at Miami Valley's Career Technology Center in Inglewood. And because of some stuff going on, I dropped out 6 months before graduation. And I've been mad ever since because I was like, damn, dude, why didn't you just keep going? You were almost there. You were almost at the finish line, but you just couldn't make it, But if that kid could see what I've done and how much I've accomplished and everything I've pushed through, I know he'd be proud. I am proud, mm-hmm. Very proud. Mm-hmm. It's very surreal. Again, like you were saying, there's options and stuff, but I'm going to marinate on that, and, that's kind of my own business at this point.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's interesting to see going into something and then coming out, and I look in the mirror and I'm happy.
Yeah.
For once, I'm happy. It's like, if I could have just done it earlier, but it's like, dude, that's not how it works. Mm-hmm. You have to apply that pressure because you have to be composed down into something else.
Yeah.
You have to let it consume you in this way that you didn't think was even possible. You didn't think, I mean, I don't know if you're, if you've mentioned it before, but our short film that we premiered,
yeah.
that was something I never thought I'd see, is my name on the big screen, even being on the big screen. I mean,
I know.
It was such a weird experience. Like, there's a part in the bloopers at the end, like right at the end, we left the camera on me and my other AD on set that day. And I turn around and look directly in the camera, and I'm sitting in the audience looking at me, and it's just like, what is happening?
Real life.
Real life,
Real
man.
life.
Like, big shout out to Victor Bonancourt. Like, I'm glad that dude, I'm glad I got to meet him. And for the short time that we have worked together and stuff, I mean, it's been great. It's been really great.
Yeah, it's been beautiful.
Yeah, there's no other words for it. I mean,
what I have wrestled with myself here is like giving myself credit for what I'm capable of. Mm. And what I think is really cool, how you were talking about like Tyrone being able to see that in you. It's like we get in here and see what people are capable of and like respect them so much that it's like you lean on their opinion, you trust their creative aspects, like all these things that you see and trust so heavily in another person. And for them to spotlight you is almost nauseating because you're not going to tell them that they're wrong.
Yeah.
But it's definitely like, it hits something inside of me that like, I do want to tell you you're wrong, but I respect you too much. But maybe there is something to that sentiment. If I respect you as much as I do and your opinion, then it's like, getting this validation just to realize I don't need it. Yeah. But then I did need it on the front end, because now I'm at the point when I get validation, I'm like, oh, shucks, thanks. And it's not so cringy. It's not comfortable yet. Mm-hmm. But it's like it took having the respect of others and like cultivating the experiences that we did here. Because like, Victor, you guys hit it off instantly with like just your style, what you're interested in, who you like. And then for him to set us up with this opportunity and it just all makes sense. It's like, of course, but then who in a million years when we first sat in that room and was like, hey, I talked to you on the phone once, that we would just like end up at the Neon seeing our names and our faces and any of this. Yeah.
It's so weird. like, it's so surreal. Again, I keep saying the same stuff, but like, I have no other words to describe it. This is a very, I mean, you could say it's sad, but, you know, at the same time, I think it's beautiful. I think what is happening for a reason. I mean, again, this year has been a very weird year for me, very stressful, and like, I've realized though, it's like, what am I going to do about it? You know, am I going to sit there and wallow in that black pit and like look up and be like, I wish this, I wish that, yada, yada. Or am I just going to stand up and realize it was just a puddle? Mm-hmm. You know, because that's all life really is just a series of bumps, a series of crossroads, a series of uncertainties. But like, I think at the end of it, it's about how you make of it. It's about how you perceive it and what you do with that pressure.
I saw this, it was a waveform, mm-hmm. you know, and they 3D printed it into like its top. Mm. And I'm like, you know, so that 2D is now this 3D, and I'm like, that's where I feel like we're about to take off.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, this is our snap moment of like, all right, you said, you know what you want, you know how you want it. Even if you don't know exactly what you want, you know what you're looking for, mm-hmm. and it's ready to find you. Is right. Like, we just got to spin into it and lean into it and keep doing what we're supposed to be doing. Because right now, like, that pressure is on, even when I can see it in an exciting way. Yeah. And like, with, anything is next. Truly. And I can see that in a daunting way too, but I'm steering clear of that because I spent 20 minutes there and I'm like, I'm done. Yeah. That was enough. Yeah. But no, this is just exciting. Anything could come from this. And, you know, like, I'm still not ready to let go. So shout out. We want to get together and do a little grad party, because our graduates this semester aren't going to get to have a graduation ceremony. And the people who, you know, are like us, we still have gratitude, and we want to have a gratitude/graduation party and really just come together and show off what we're capable of and take care of each other, even when, you know,
the walls close in.
Yeah. There's no more common goal. We just celebrate what we've done and who we are together.
I'm there for it, because it's like, there's so many people here I'm so proud of, you know, like, for you, you know, I've mentioned it multiple times, but like, you know, like, you used to tell me you weren't able to do all this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I remember you saying the Twin Flames episode about like how you could interview people. I was just like, dude, you do it at work.
That's literally how we met.
and then Lorraine Brooker.
Booker.
Yeah. My bad. I'm sorry, Lorraine, if you're listening to this, but I'm so proud of her. She has stepped it up. Mm-hmm. She is amazing. She did her own project about an art show at a high school and went by herself and did it.
Did the whole thing. Had
some mistakes happen, but you know what? She's learning. That's filmmaking.
Yeah. And I did the same thing on my first shoot.
Exactly.
Yeah. My first solo shoot. Yeah. Same hiccups.
You know, like, that's so beautiful. And then like AJ, you know, he has such beautiful music, you know, and I forget their names, but like the two dudes they're making a rap song right now.
Oh yeah. Justin and Stokes. Yeah.
They pulled me in and asked if I could give them an opinion on something. I was like, me? Why me? And they're like, oh, you just seem like you would know.
Yeah.
And I actually gave them an opinion on it, and they kept it in the final version. They said, thank you for telling me that.
Beautiful.
100%. And, you know, the list could go on. I could go on and on and on about everyone here. We just have so much passion. I think this is the first place I've been, like you were saying, just like, you feel wanted.
Yeah.
You feel like you matter.
You feel welcome on the front end.
Yes.
Yeah.
I walk in here, I see Shirley, our front desk lady. She has such a beautiful smile. She just, you know, always complimenting when I walk in and stuff. And
she's such a sweetheart. And she asked me to recreate a blanket for her. Oh. This was back around Christmas. And Christmas is always such a depressing window for me. Mm-hmm. I don't do well during Christmas time.
Same.
I just miss my sunshine. But yeah, she had me do like a Chevron vintage 70s vibe. And I'm like, had so much fun doing it. But I like, when I finally handed it over, she's like, you got it done so quick. I'm like, you have no idea how bad I needed this project. Like I needed it so bad. But yeah, it's like, even the hug we shared today was just like, my heart was ready to explode. Like we made eye contact across the room and I just put my hand on my heart and she did the same and we gave a nod. Like it is what it is. And I love it here and love you and sorry.
Yeah. I mean, there's just all of them, the whole staff. I mean, Courtney, you know, she's an amazing person too. I've remember so many times having conversations with her, just like, you know, real conversations and stuff like that. And it was just so great to have that moment, you know. And, you know, Rochelle, of course, like she's always great to like just stop by. I give a little nod. She laughs and just walk on. Like that's
she's
just
so
what I
smiley.
do. Yeah. Same with Dee Dee.
And Courtney too, she had done the radio show.
Yes.
And I was so nervous when I did my very first podcast. I did it in one of these studios here. And I just started talking and then I stopped and edited it. And then I was like, oh, I've got more to say. And I was really excited about it. I shared it with Tyrone and it leaned religious, which isn't me. So it was very like scary to share that deeply. And he shared it with Courtney and I didn't know that. And she came up to me and told me how impactful it was that like, she's half the reason I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I thought it was silly and embarrassing sitting in a room talking to myself. And she was like, no, that's awesome. And then weeks later, she comes up and she was like, hey, I'm doing a radio show that's like a religious based thing with this and that. But it really like, this is what we do here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you inspired me to start the podcast. I mean, it didn't really go far, but like I got to do a couple episodes. I mean,
and it was good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You know, like that was a fun experience. I mean, I don't know what I'm going to do next with that, but you know what? I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah.
You know, I think I've realized finally, just take it day by day. You know, us cowboys, we just take it as it comes. You know,
Yeah.
like again, big time, capital R, no regrets. You know, it's been nothing but fun. And I think I needed it. I needed to have this experience.
So bad.
And
me too. Yeah.
I don't know what I'd be without it.
Yeah.
You know, just met so many people, not even just here, but like contacts I've made at networking. You know, I'm able to network now. I was never really a confident person. Like everyone would be like, oh, you just shine this confidence. It's like, no, it's always false.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Tell us what you do.
Oh, what part of it?
Just what are you doing?
Well, I mean,
yeah.
What part of it?
All of it. You're the guest. So like guest side, bring it on. Like
first off,
lay it out. Yeah. You're doing so much.
I forget how much I do.
Yeah. Listen to yourself say it. I'm telling you.
So first off, I'm doing an internship through a partnership through PBS and, it's the 8-4 memorial that's going downtown for the victims of the Ned Pepper shooting. They're putting this beautiful memorial in for just the families and stuff, and it's really moving. And then I also do videography on the side. Victor actually hooked me up, or my teacher I mentioned just a second ago, with shooting wrestling gigs. Tyrone, I work with him very, side by side with the Tiny Stacks program, with just like stuff with Sierra Leone, local poet here in Dayton. We just got done last Sunday doing a shoot for, pretty much they were giving their thoughts on Juneteenth and like what it actually means. The DECA Talks through DECA High School that's in downtown Brown Street, which the DECA Talks, let me tell you, the youth.
Yeah, what are DECA Talks?
So it's the youth of Dayton. It's pretty much like a TED Talk, but it's like the youth of Dayton from that school. They get a moment to actually speak their mind in a way that like is insane. Like these kids have inspired me. And it's so crazy to see how advanced, like I can't wait to see what they do, and it's so amazing. And they even had a talent show I did last March, maybe, I think it was. There's so many gigs. I kind of forget what dates were what, but they have so much talent and it's so raw. And it's like, I do stand up here. for our talent shows. And I think that's always the funny thing. I was always so nervous, but I see them just go up and do their thing. It's just like, what am I worried about? Why do I care what others think? Like, as long as I'm happy, But other than that, we also do a short film segment thing. I don't know what you call it, skits, whatever, for YouTube. That's at Wax Feathers Productions. You can also find it on Instagram at Wax Feathers, one word. It's basically just dark comedy, surrealism comedy, whatever, anti-comedy, whatever tag you want to call it. It's kind of a harkening back to like the Adult Swim days of like mid 2000s. I grew up on all that stuff. I also do art, paint, digital art now, which I didn't think I'd ever be doing digital art, but here I am. I make music, I guess. I don't know why I say I guess. I really just do it for me, like I don't really ever put it out there, but like it's fun.
It's good.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks. I appreciate that. I'm also in a band.
Will you put a song on this episode?
Yeah, I could definitely do that.
Would you?
Yeah. I can
put it out there.
I can figure something out. Yeah. Something not so heavy, You know what I mean?
Oh, we also did get permission to put one of a song at the end of this episode that I'm really excited about. So I'm just going to lay it here real quick. It's called the ICB Beat for Life. And it was produced and everything done by our students. It plays on our radio station at school over our speakers. We're very familiar with it, and it just screeches a little bit louder in the best way today. Stay tuned towards the end to listen to that one. But
it's gonna be good.
And if Seagull sends something over, we'll get that in there. We'll get some jams going here.
And I probably do more stuff. I just don't really remember at the moment. So.
That's so much.
It's a lot. It's a lot more than I give myself credit for.
Absolutely.
I feel like I'm that same boat with you. I just don't give myself a lot of credit. And I'm starting to slowly ease out of that skin, I think that's really what this year has been about, is allowing that pressure to hit you and then let it crack your former skin, the chrysalis that you're in, and come out in another form. And this isn't even my final form, is the crazy thing.
Right.
Like, what will I be next year? The year after that, and the year after that, and the year after that, and so on and so forth. I mean, honestly, if I could also say too, I think a big part of this year, what really went well for me is just getting sober. Yeah. Nothing crazy, but I just smoked a lot of cannabis and drank a hell of a lot of coffee, and I'm slowly kicking nicotine, but it takes a moment, but I don't really have a drink, but like just those first two things, like I didn't realize how much it was affecting my mental health, and now in therapy and stuff like that, I realized the only thing I really need is my medication, which is so cool. Like I'm okay with it. I think that was the biggest part, back to that pressure thing. Am I going to be able to create still? Am I going to be able to be who I am without all this additives? And it's like, yeah, dude, stop thinking silly. You've always been great, but you just wouldn't allow yourself to think that way because you allowed other things to make you think negatively. It's like, if I could quote somebody, my man may care what you think, but he can't care too much because he knows there's not a whole lot he could do about it, which I think is the most beautiful thing I've ever heard. That's Tim Kinsella off of, it's one of his solo albums. I listen to that religiously. It's a spoken word. It's like 7 minutes, and 7 minutes of just pure, if you're there for the message, it's great. But like, I can't remember the name off the top of my head. Maybe I can just like give it to you later in the episode. But I think it's something that's, very important to remember is you just got to allow yourself to let it burn, let it go, fall from the ashes, and just know that you can keep it fly and touch the sky. That's the beauty of life, and I don't think it gets more beautiful than this. Yeah. Sharing moments with friends, sharing moments with anyone. Love is all around us,
Yeah, we shared so much heart space today. Yeah. Being in a room with people in bad news, that's big and hefty. And, it's like that first big question thrown out is like financial aid. And then there's that moment where it settles in and we're like, yo, thanks though.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, that meeting could have gone one of thousands of ways, but I think it went about as beautiful as it possibly could have, considering the circumstances, because it's not what anybody wants, but it's the reality of it. And I think we all came to accept it quickly. And I don't want to say came to accept it, but for what it was in the moment, being able to tolerate it and sit with it and just start to let it marinate and hear the information neutrally. And it was a lot to take in, and you could there were people that didn't move for 30 seconds to 2 minutes, like in shock. And once that all started to loosen up and you really made eye contact, it's like, it's beyond what this means for me. It's what it means for my people, my friends, the teachers who don't have jobs now, and the staff who don't have jobs now. And that's just as heavy. And when you just sit there and feel it all together, it's so loving, even though it hurts so bad. It felt like we were mourning. And also we were able to sit there and giggle while we're waiting on the next person to show up. It's like we're still existing. This is still okay, even when it's not okay.
How to tell some stupid jokes just to
lighten
the mood, I mean, what else am I going to do? It's a knee-jerk reaction for me, It's what I do.
Yeah.
Always try to be silly because I hate the sadness.
Yeah.
Edit the sad parts,
Yeah, I cried a lot.
I did too. I didn't expect to cry. I thought I was all done crying, but...
Yeah, me too.
There they were.
Yep.
More tears. But I think the best part about tears is, you're human. You have feelings. And it's good to feel. It really is. Coming from a sober standpoint, I told you this earlier, I feel nervous again. And it's so good to feel it.
Yeah.
Actually feel the actual reality around you. And it may be heavy. It may be uncertainty. It might be the deepest feeling I've probably ever felt in my life. And I'm here for it.
Yes.
I'm going to move through it. We're going to move through it. Everyone's going to be fine. We're going to do our best. With a lot of bright people here. And I couldn't ask for a better time. Until the ship falls through and it sinks to the bottom, I'll be here. I don't need a life
I'll be right here with you.
I don't need a life preserver.
Yeah. We're finishing out the semester strong and showing up every day like we're supposed to.
Yeah. Because what else are we going to do? Fall and crack under the pressure? Or are we going to let that pressure cultivate us into something beautiful?
Yeah. Because last year, this news would have made me want to flip a table. And now I'm just like, let's get some food on this table and hang out and make the best of what's left.
100%.
Yeah.
Because I hate to harp on it again, but the experience was everything. And it's not about that destination, as cliche as it is to say, but it's all about the journey, the people you meet, the experiences you have, the opportunities you were given, what you did with those opportunities, the lessons learned, the knowledge taken, and everything that goes with that. And I wouldn't change any of this for anything. Not no one, not anybody. I'm so privileged to be where I'm at.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And me too.
Thank you.
And I don't know if there's anything left to say after that.
You can find me at Wax Feathers on Instagram. You can find me at Wax Feathers Productions on YouTube. Allison helps with both of those projects mainly, except for the art. It's a combination of a bunch of stuff. And I don't really have anything else to add, I guess the only thing else I can say is get ready to see me in Hollywood or something like that. I don't know. Probably not. I wouldn't go there. I guess just keep beating to your own drum. Stay up. Don't stay down for too long, you know. Just let the wind carry you wherever it's going to carry you, and keep it fly. Touch the sky.
Thank you, Seagull.
You're welcome, Allison.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Unravel with Allison. Next week, I'll sink back into another solo episode, and I've already got some fun ideas floating around. In the meantime, I've got some songs for you on the way out. Sebastian sent me a song that I requested. He was like, I don't know if that's like the one you want. I love it, so I want it. It's the Cosmic Horror Show. If you're familiar with Death Grips, it's a vibe. Following the Cosmic Horror Show will be DJ Ace Grinds and Sharia Walters with the ICB Beat for Life. That's the song we mentioned in the episode that just bops at school. And lastly, we've got my buddy Crown Vic and his song Aphrodite. Got some slow jam vibes going on there. So stick around for a few more minutes, hang out, enjoy the music. Again, thank you to my friend Sebastian Seagull for sitting in with me and having this deep, heartfelt conversation, because this was big news for us to take in, and I'm appreciative that I had him to be there with me to process all of that. All of his links will be in the show notes, and I will catch you next episode.
Goatish giant before him seemed like the spawn of another planet or dimension, like something only partly of mankind, and linked to black gulfs of essence and entity that stretch like titan phantasms beyond all spheres of force and matter, space and time. Presently, Wilbur raised his head and began speaking in that strange, resonant fashion which hinted at sound-producing organs unlike the run of mankind's. Mr. Armitage, he said, I calculate I've got to take that book home. These things in it I've got to try under certain conditions that I can't get here, and it UD be a mortal sin to let a red tape rule hold me up. Let me take it along, sir, and I'll swore they want nobody know the difference. I don't need to tell ye I'll take good care of it. It warn't me that put the steak copy in the shape it is. He stopped as he saw firm denial on the librarian's face, and his own goatish features grew crafty. Armitage, half ready to tell him he might make a copy of what parts he needed, thought suddenly of the possible consequences and checked himself. There was too much responsibility in giving such a being the key to such blasphemous outer spheres. Wadley saw how things stood and tried to answer lightly.
And now you're leaving, just like that. Why do you have to go? Where are you going? What are you going to do? Just throw your life away like it was nothing?
Can't sleep cause I'm scared of death. Tall men in trench coats saying Macbeth. Late night with my pal. Who said the red-eyed owl.
Shut up! Don't order me around!
Who?
Why do you always have to try to save me? I could handle it on my own.
Small fingers came out the tall grass. Shiny heads. I'm the walrus.
Don't order me around!
I'm the walrus. Sprinkle me on the ground beef patio. I'm the walrus. Shuffle my hands tight, daddy knows. I'm the funk maker. I'm the funk maker.
Shut up!
I'm the funk maker. I'm the funk maker.
I'm not going there to die. I'm going to find out if I'm really alive. I have to do it, Faye.
Call horse and wake me up to bodily harm. The father, he hung from the trees in the rafter, and I don't care when he comes back next fall. Sway. Read a message after the beat.
Why do you always have to try to save me?
Don't come back.
I could handle it on my own.
Salutations to death because I don't call back.
I could handle it on my own.
Wiggle my hands all across my body. Don't go into the hands with my cosmic body.
Why do you always have to try to save me?
Snakes come out his eyes.
I could handle it on my own.
Snakes come out his eyes.
Why do you always have to try to save me?
Snake came out his eyes and showed the body to the suit wall and to the body.
Yeah, I admit that I've gotten beaten before, but I won't always be on the receiving end.
Sway.
Yeah, I admit that I've gotten beaten before, but I won't always be on the receiving end.
Sway.
Armitage chose his words very carefully. It was mostly a kind of force that doesn't belong in our part of space, a kind of force that acts and grows and shapes itself by other laws than those of our sort of nature. We have no business calling in such things from outside, and only very wicked people and very wicked cults ever try to.
Filmmaker.
Just another day at ICB, chillin', relaxin', and making some beats. I walk around the studio B and I see all of my kings and queens doing their thing. Yeah, we doing our thing. I'm doing my thing. Yeah, I'm doing my thing. We doing our thing. You doing your thing. I'm doing my thing.
Let's go.
I'm doing my thing.
Come on.
Yeah, you doing your thing.
Yep.
I'm doing my thing. ICP with a real hang.
Everybody, put your hands to the sky. Yell if you wanna, put your hands up high. Everybody, put your hands to the sky. Yell if you wanna, put your hands up high. Hey, oh, hey, oh. ICP. Let's go.
Everybody on a mission to get a degree, whether it's for radio, audio, or TV. The goal is to live out our dream. So when I see you and you see me, what we doing? We living out our dream. Say you doing your thing. Yeah, you doing your thing. Yeah, I'm doing my thing. Yeah, I'm doing my thing.
International mathematical flashy flow. Catch me in the studio or the radio. ICB.edu. We can make it. Just me and you. Born to raise. Doing our thing. And the flow's more hotter than jerk chicken wings. Everybody, put your hands to the sky. Yell if you wanna. Put your hands up high. Everybody, put your hands to the sky. Yell if you wanna. Put your hands up high. Hey, oh, hey. Everybody, put your hands to the sky. Yell if you wanna, put your hands up high. Everybody, put your hands to the sky. Yell if you wanna, put your hands up high. Hey, oh, hey, oh, ICB. Let's go.
Inside your love is where I wanna be. Would you like to come inside of my life? Inside your love is
You
where I
already know
wanna
the answer to that.
be. Would you like to
Shit.
come inside of my
Looking good than a
Inside your love
motherfucker,
is where I
mama.
wanna
Thank
be.
you.
Yo, the name Crown Vic. You wanna be my black Aphrodite?
You are.
Only way you can do that is by becoming a part of my lifestyle.
Inside your love is
Looks like I'm willing to becoming a part of yours. You did.
I did.
Sun is a habit. When I got a bad bitch, my macho man turned Aphrodite to a savage. Your body is a vessel that I fill with my passions. Your love is addictive, about to turn me to an addict. Romance, what you asking? I show it in my actions. Let me be your king, you my queen. She start laughing. Girl, you know that ass super fast. And if I get it, I'ma have to break it back. Break it back.
Yeah, that's the gangster part of it, baby.
Gangster.
No, when you get the G Crown Vic, you get your majesty. I'm royalty everywhere I go.
Is that right?
That'll be a part of you if you follow the flow. You feel me? I know you want the finer days of life, and I can give them for you. All you gotta decide is how bad you want me. You feel me?
I feel you.
You want a gangster and a gentleman. It's what you tell your friends, hoping that love never ends. Only romance begins first day while we holding hands. You said you want a man, I said that I understand. Started making plans, told you just take my hand. Baby, take a chance, show me where you really stand. If it's still a plan.
Romantic, nothing frantic. Oh my God. So when you see me out on the street, just know I'm modest. Respect my body. Respect my mind. Respect my soul. Something for you to hold. I'm a queen. I'm a goddess. I'm a princess. What you saying? I've been that. Ignoring negativity. You were heaven sent to me. Passing in this energy. I need the longevity.
It's real simple. You get the good side of me, the gangster side of me, the flighty side of me when I'm going through my pleasures and strains and my pains.
So complex.
But then you get the more serious side of me.
Serious?
That's where you find that spiritual shit. So you tell me, is that what you want, baby?
Is that what you want?
It's royalty when you're next to me. Your love be my ecstasy. You got me sweating in every direction. You a perfect 7 when we be sexing. I swear this is heaven, the perfect perfection. Mind, body, soul, so precious when we be flexing. You know you a blessing. Here's the peach I wanna eat. Your next to say sweet. Got me weak on my feet. When we grab the beast from the streets, bringing peace from the words that you speak. That's love.
I know I love, baby. I can show you. Just give me the chance.
So what do you know about love?
I keep trying to show you. I told you I'm like a travel with this.
Are you here for a fun time or a long?
It's all about longevity for me. Ain't my fucking sick.
I want to just I can't afford no stress.
I ain't trying to get you none.
I don't know what you have heard, but I'm a woman of my word.
I'm a man of my word.
If ready,
Trust me, I'm
I'm an
ready.
asset. Classy Angela Bassett. I'm a trophy.
I know.
No need to mask that.
I'm digging that. Hell yeah, baby. What's up?
Thanks for listening to another episode of Unravel with Allison. We've got all the social networks up and running. Feel free to reach out, follow, subscribe, keep in touch, and stay up to date on new episodes. Thank you for being here, and I will catch you next week.